Unveil. Welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Cutlery Outdoors, the Unveiling rendition. It's late night, Friday night, get right rendition. I've tried to do this a million times rendition. I'm going to show you this right here. This is a knife I made famous. It's the Preacher. Now, Donnie, be all day, good friend of mine, brother from another mother, designed this knife, but I made it famous. It's kind of one of those is what it is deals. I mean, I love Donnie, God bless him. Hell of a knife designer, I made it famous. I'm going to unveil my collaboration with Don B all day in a minute. Before we do, there was a time in this country, and this is drop dead serious, there was a time in this country where 22 veterans a day took their own lives. Now, here's the deal. Depending on what you read, that number's everywhere. It really is. And that number is even in question. Here's what's not in question. Anything over 0 is simply unacceptable. And vets, all that means, the only thing that means is this. You are loved and you are welcome here. You have a place here. We back to blue over here. We support all to the chagrin of many. How do you do that, Scab? Well, we don't break the damn law. But when we do, because we accept responsibility. People tell you that don't make sense. It does make sense, dumbass. Listen to what I'm telling you. We support it by not making it do their job. Not hard. Sometimes all you got to do is think a little bit. And quit being Anyway, we're not going to do that tonight. Finally, if you are an addict, never quit quitting. Now, here's the deal, guys. This seriously is the D-Bad Preacher. This is one of my all-time favorite big knives. And I really did make it famous. It is what it is. You know, people don't like that, I don't give a shit. No, Matthew, I'm not going to bring the whole room down. I'm just saying. Now, here's the thing. I absolutely adore this knife. I've got 6 or 7 videos on this knife. I'm going to do a follow-up. I'm going to do a Do I Still Love It, which of course I do. But I had DJ Horn. If you'll look at that edge, I had DJ totally reprofile that edge. Why? This was always kind of my monster. I busted 10 to 15 cinder blocks. I've stabbed street signs, I've stabbed tires, I've cut down trees. I've done literally everything you're not supposed to do with a knife. I've done it with this knife. And I got this knife, and let me make something clear real quick. I got this knife from KHHI long before I probably had 80 subscribers. So no, this ain't a special preacher. It's a special preacher because it's mine, and it's the most used, most famous one in the world. You can bank on that. But they didn't know who I was. I've heard that Will Scab, they gave you this, but no, they didn't, dumbass. I didn't even know Donnie when I bought this. We were just starting to communicate some. But I love this knife. This is one, man, that just spoke to me from the giddy up. Sean used it right after DJ got it done. I don't know if he just decided to hit a brick bat. Anyway, I've reprofiled the edge, or DJ, and let me say this real quick too. DJ Horn is my knife guy. P.O. Scab, you gotta learn I can sharpen. I can sharpen very well. I don't have the time. Okay? I hone my knives, I keep them up. And I'm gonna do a video on that one day, what I do to maintain the sharpness. Guys, a lot of what y'all see, like with the paper cutting and all that, man, with Work Tough gear, with other knives, that's straight from the factory. Now, I strop my knives religiously. I really do. And I don't have the little thing in here. I've got like one of them little diamond things, and I'll maintain it. But when it gets down to real world reprofiling, hey, we got to remove steel, I send them to DJ. It's a time thing. And I've told y'all before, there's people who think it's zen and more power to you. That shit wears me out. I get really aggravated really quick. So for me, from a time standpoint and all that, DJ does it. But I had DJ reprofile this one. So that left kind of a void, right? In that, I was like, man, I always like having like a monster hitter. Like, and I've got my Work Tough gear stuff, and I love my Work Tough gear stuff, and I want y'all to understand that. But those things, and I've got a couple that are big hitters, but they also got really good edges on them. They're really good knives. I wanted a hitter. So one day, I was sitting at work, and I was thinking about it, and y'all have already seen it, because Donnie was supposed to wait. Thanks, Don. He didn't, but that's okay. He also gave me the number 2. But I'm number 1 in your hearts. But anyway, I wanted a hitter. Now I'm going to show y'all this in a minute. And so I was in the middle of a growth spurt. Donnie was in the middle of a growth spurt. And I thought, man, I want to do something because we kind of started this thing out together. He was on a little bit before me, but I'm talking about just kind of a friendship, a brotherhood, a partnership, a community. And we started this thing out, and I wanted to do something. I wanted something that kind of symbolized that, a collaboration just for us. So I hit him up. I said, hey, man, I want to do a collab. He said, all right, man. And we just go back and forth. And he told the story, but in my head, I wanted that big time hitter. Now, I reprofiled the preacher because I want to start using that more camp knife, more bushcrafty. It can chop. It can still chop better than most. But I wanted it for something else, right? I've used it, I've abused it, and I've truly abused that knife, and it's held up. I know there's this big thing about the magical exploding knives. I've busted 15 concrete blocks. Are there some problems there? Sure there are. It depends on the commie you get and all that. But that knife's been through hell. That knife's been through more than most have, okay? That knife's been more than what Joe X would put it through. I don't shoot it, but everything else, I've busted cinder blocks, I've chopped down trees, I've went through Kira-soaked poles, and I love Joe. That's not a knock at Joe. I'm just saying that kind of pressure he puts on a knife, that knife's been through. Held up great. I wanted it for something different. It's done, to me, it's like it's done everything it needs to do, right? And y'all don't see it because I don't love it. I absolutely love it. It's probably my top, it's in my top 3 fixed blades of all time. But I'm like, that knife started this channel. That knife built this channel. That knife needs to, it's earned its spot, right? But I need a hitter. So D-Bad and I, and Donnie, this isn't the first time. Donnie drew me up one before, and it wasn't to where I could get it. I loved it. I wanted it, but I wasn't in a place where I could get it, because what I wanted to happen is Donnie design it. I would take care of the cost from KHHI, because that's only fair. That's only right. And if you hit Donnie up, that's only fair and only right, you know? So I'm like, dude, I'll take care of the cost. You take care of the design. Let's collab on this thing. Let's get it done. And Donnie's got that. We got that thing, man. We're different personalities. We're different people, but we got that thing where he knows what I like and he knows what I'm thinking. So we go through the whole spectrum. I wanted a hitter. I don't want a paper cutter. I don't want a feather sticker. I don't want a bushcrafter. I don't want none of that dumb shit. I mean, it's not dumb. It's got its place. It's all that. I'll do some feather sticking tomorrow so people aren't upset. But what I'm telling you is, if you've been with me from the beginning, which, by the way, tomorrow we crossing 30K and we taking over everything. But I wanted a hitter. Preacher's got me to 30K. And Donnie, man, I love you and thank you for allowing me to use that preacher. And I bought it. That's not what I'm saying. But Donnie's got behind me on it. And he's helped me push my videos on it. Back when I had 200 and 300. And I claim that knife as my own. I am on that website. I say that smart, but I am. That's how much I love that knife. And a lot of guys would have been offended by that. A lot of guys would have been hurt by that. A lot of guys would have got their egos buttoned up. Donnie, he's like, dude, run with it. Run with it. It got me to 30K. That's crazy, man. Man, thank you. It's just nuts, dude. And don't ever think, I talk shit and all that. But don't ever think for 1 second I don't love y'all. I do. Some of you I don't like, but most of you I love. But we come up with a hitter. Now, Megatron named this. Donnie called it the Monster Mash, which was cool because it was a mashup of a lot of things. And he came up, he literally, when he told y'all he came up with this in 5 minutes, he's not kidding. It was that kind of interaction, just boom, 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 boom. He sent me the thing up, and again, he told the story, but the deal is this. He's like, dude, listen, this is what I come up with, but we got to have some things. How thick? He said, I'm thinking 8 mil. It's got to be 8 mil because it's a hitter. That preacher's 7. But a lot of steel got removed off that preacher to give you that edge. It's got to be a hitter. Now, Donnie's going to take care of the handle, okay? So we come up, and again, Megatron named this. I just like the name of it. It's the Ego Killer. This thing's dope. It just is. It just is. It fits well. Let me give you the inner grip. And here's the thing. This ain't heavy. There's nothing heavy. I picked up the box, and I'm gonna be honest with you because I knew what else is in the box, and I'm gonna show you all that in a minute. And I was like, and I took this out, and it's crazy because one, I think KHHI. I don't know if they just. I don't know if they also make rubber bands, because if you ever got anything from them, son, between the oil they slather it with, which is cool to keep it safe, and the rubber bands, they put 10 pounds of rubber bands on that son of a bitch. That's why you'll never see an unboxing of KHHI. We'd be here all night. I mean, I'm not bitching. Well, I am, but they put some rubber bands, and I'm like, I didn't realize the size. But look at that. I want y'all to look. Now, this ain't going to be picture perfect. Nothing on this channel is. But you can see about where that balance point is. Donnie's going to make sure the handle's right. Now, I believe this is... I don't want to tell you something that's not. I think we went with my card. I could be wrong. But this thing is not heavy. It's a beast. It's a monster. It's what I want. And tomorrow, we're not opening up, slicing paper. I'm going to go out there and cut every damn tree down I can find. I'm going to start in the swamp and go to the studio. But look at that. And it's got a pretty good edge. It really does. Again, we didn't want, I'm not here to process vegetables. We're going old school, Choir Boys Outdoors, old school CCO. We're going old school with this bitch. We're going to chop everything down we can. If that bothers you, don't watch. That's all I can tell you. I love you. God bless you. May the good Lord take a liking to you. But this, and here's, let me say this real quick. We wanted something that was ours. Now, I've already seen people asking Donnie, can I make it? There's one person that I'm, right now, and I'm not saying I'm not okay with anybody. I'm just telling you this. Miss Colleen has the green light to get her one. That's just a fact, okay? Now, the rest, somebody else asked me, here's the deal, guys. I want to do one video with my knife before we decide all that. Okay? I'm not trying to be an ass, I'm not trying to be a dick, not trying to be anything. These were not made for production runs. I'm going to talk to D if he wants to do it, fine. But these were made for us. We might put them into production, may not. And here's the deal. I'm not stressing over that. That's not an issue. Odds are, if you want one, you're going to be able to get one. If you do. But here's the beauty of it, and here's what I love. This knife encapsulates this channel, praise God, more than anything else. I don't need to hear what you don't like about it, because I don't give a shit. This is the D-Bad Scab collab. That's what this is. That's why we didn't put out, hey, would you guys, no. And I'm not trying to be an ass. Y'all know I'm the great bringer together. But here's the thing. Here's the thing on this. We'll talk about all that. I really, truly, honestly want to get one in. I want to get one good review in. This thing feels great. It's going to hit hard. It doesn't feel anything like you think it feels. Because when I looked at it on his video, I thought, man, that thing's going to be heavy. And I wanted it to be. That thing's going to be a beast. And I wanted it to be. And it is. But it is not some clunky pry bar. That's not what this is. This is a well-weighted, well-balanced chopper. And I'm going to hit something with it. I promise you that. Now, here's the deal. I wanted to give y'all, we always do the inner grip. I think that inner grip's hard. I think that it's important, not hard. Okay, the inner grip on this is 4.5. Yeah, the inner grip from here to here, where your hand rides, is 4.5. And y'all see how that fits my hand. Good luck. I like flipping it upside down. It's the first thing I did. And you know what? There's nothing scientific with that. I can't give you a reason for that. The first thing I do when I'm holding a knife is weird, man. I try to see if I can manipulate it, I guess. But it's right like that. So here's the deal. This is the Ego Killer. It's a collab. Me and D-Bad. I absolutely love this thing. We've done almost 15 minutes of nothing talking about this knife and me talking shit. Listen. Love y'all. God knows I do. God bless y'all. I hope he does. Here's the thing, guys. This is the weekend of knives. I'm putting out as many shorts as I can. We're going over 30K. Now we've started our memberships and we've started our Patreon. Thank you to everybody, and we've had a good turnout on that. But I want y'all to know I appreciate you watching this video more than anything. I really do. I appreciate y'all watching the videos. I appreciate y'all commenting on the videos. I appreciate y'all liking. I appreciate all of that. The Patreon and the membership, dude, that's only if you can. We're going to try to put some different stuff on there and make it worth it. I don't want it to be just something that y'all sign up for And that's it. I want to make it worth your while, and we're going to try our dead level best to do that. Now, I have about 25 knives, first world problems, right? 25 knives that I've got to review on. I wanted to show y'all some more in this video, but we're not going to tarry long. This is the Ego Killer. What I am going to do this weekend is hammer out some reviews, hammer out some shorts, just move on, get on with it, get on. I said all that crap about Patreon and membership to say, if you want to sign up, man, thank you. If you don't, totally get it, not a biggie. The channel's going to roll either way. But I just figured it would. I did have a lot of people, and I'm not just saying that. I had several people say, Scab, we want to help in some way. I felt like that was the best way to do to offset some shipping. So I'll make it worth your while. But listen, that's not going to, the Patreon and memberships is not going to take over the thought process or the crux or the content of this channel. I'm going to mention it for about a month, and then it can grow organically. Here's the deal. I love y'all. If you made it this far, you know most of the time I'm talking shit and kidding and all that. Sometimes I'm not, but most of the time I am. But I love you. I'm passionate about knives. I am so fired up. Donnie, man, all bullshit aside, dude, great job. I can't wait to swing this thing. I've got a ton of knives to review, but this one's moving way up there on the list. This one, seriously, if it wasn't dark and I didn't want to deal with the meth crafters, I'd go right down there to the swamp in 30 degrees and swing it tonight. But first thing in the morning, we'll get fired on it. I love y'all. Scab is me. I'm Scab. You're not. I'm gone, son. Love y'all.